It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at a stop. I thought I was fine, and then once I got home, I realized it's a lot worse than I thought. I ended up having a ruptured disc. You say you're not hurting, and then an hour later, you're saying you're in all this pain. I just felt like most people would think that I was lying. And that's when I decided to call Daniel Stark. I owe a lot to Daniel Stark. They really got me what I deserved.
The difference is stark.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated with style and durability. You can trust Tervis tumblers to keep your drinks the perfect temperature, hot or cold, for hours. From the classic insulated tumblers to sleek stainless steel water bottles, each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Since our founding, we've been revolutionizing hair removal with cutting-edge technology and a commitment to empowerment. The U-Like Air 3, launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. Experience the future of hair removal today at ulike.com, because at U-Like, beauty is about looking and feeling good. That's ulike.com. U-Like. With Ease US, make studio-quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects, featuring 468 natural AI voices. Customize the volume, mood, and pauses to perfectly match your content. Plus, capture high-quality videos with no watermark. Record your screen, webcam, and voice, and save them instantly to your computer. Never been easier to create professional-grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
Just use AMP-Pace.
AMP-Pace.
Slovaceks on a Friday. So many things to get to. NBA playoffs. I was knee deep. I actually up to my eyeballs last night watching the NBA playoffs, specifically the Knicks and the Pistons. That was an old school, like, let's go, roll around in the mud. Also some explosive plays, in the Knicks pull it out. They advance to take on the Celtics. We've got Nick Pick coming up in the second segment, talking about Churchill Downs. He's live from Churchill Downs, getting set for the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. That will take place tomorrow. But today is like a special day over at Churchill Downs, and Nick is there every year getting primed for the race. So we're going to talk to him about the Kentucky Derby, talk about some odds, who he thinks is going to win, and he'll set the scene for us there. We do want to start with the NBA playoffs. Again, also want to thank Crawford Austin Properties, Socorro Family Ford, and our good friends at Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers. I got to get into okay, we're going to talk about Luka Doncic and fallout from the Lakers season and their loss. But I do want to talk first about what I saw last night with Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. I watched that game intently. Why did I watch it so intently? Well, one, because it's an NBA playoff game, and that's what we do. Two, prior to the series, I bet a few shekels on the Pistons to win, straight up. Okay? 3-1 odds. I felt good about it. I lost, obviously, last night. But, boy, when I make a bet like that, I just kind of leave it alone. You don't expect to win that kind of bet, but you feel, okay, like this is interesting. I feel like I really got a shot. And I was proven right by the count by the fact the series was so close. All these games were so close. And down the stretch last night, I was watching. You remember now, I'm a Villanova guy. So we got 3 Villanova guys featured in this game for the Knicks. You got Josh Hart, you got Mikal Bridges, and you have obviously Jalen Brunson. Brunson finishes with 40. Bridges finishes with 25 and had a crucial tip-in, a putback that tied the game up before, at the other end, Cade Cunningham, I don't even want to say missed the layup, missed a runner in traffic. And at the other end, Brunson sticks the 3. One-on-one, gets free from Thompson, who had been giving him fits. And it really stopped him from scoring around the basket, Thompson had for Detroit. On the last 3 possessions, Brunson was missing like bunnies in traffic. I don't even know if that makes sense. He was missing other contested shots in traffic. Remember, he's undersized. But when the game was on the line, he buries a huge 3. And, for the Knicks, too, there's a little bit more sauce on it, right? Just kind of legendary. So he hits the 3, and he proves, by the way, I wrote it down here, 52 clutch baskets this year. Whatever the hell that, I'm not sure what qualifies that. I would have known when I was doing NBA PR, but I'll trust that that's a huge stat, right? That was his 5th game with 40-plus points in this series. The Knicks will get annihilated next round by the Celtics. They're actually early underdogs at 6-1. That series will start Monday, so we'll have plenty of time to get into that. But it was a phenomenal watch. You had Ian Eagle on the call with Grant Hill, and there was one sequence where there's a breakaway, and this was so cool. There was a breakaway or a replay shot where it showed the broadcast table. And we talked about this yesterday. For the first and second round of the NBA playoffs, your local broadcasting crews in America, in Toronto, they can go the whole way, but Toronto's obviously not in the playoffs this year. But you have the first round. The local TV crews have the first rounds, which means Mike Breen is calling the game for the Knicks. And late in the game, there's a sequence where they show a replay. And not only is Breen obviously sticking out because he's calling the game for the Knicks because he's Mike Breen, but he's standing up at the scores table, which, if you've ever, calling games, look, sometimes you have to stand up at the scores table. And, for instance, if you do a game, Arizona State does this. They enter my mind right off the top of my head. I think Kansas State does this too sometimes. Or not sometimes. They do it too, where you'll stand up before the first basket is scored. And so, you're right at center. You can't see down underneath the basket in the right-hand corner because everybody's standing up in the front row. And in a huge game, everybody's standing up too. So you got to do your thing to deliver the message. And Mike Breen is seen standing up on the local call for the Knicks broadcast while TNT and Ian Eagle handle the national call. Just only in the NBA playoffs with the team involving the Knicks. So that was really cool, and I appreciated just the entire moment. I thought J.B. Bickerstaff did a phenomenal job of coaching for Detroit, even to get Malik Beasley a wide-open look to tie the game as time expired, but the ball simply went through Beasley's hands. And it's just so quickly, right? The Pistons are up. They're thinking about a Game 7 in New York, or at least I am, and their fans are. The Pistons, I'm sure, and J.B. Bickerstaff are focused on the matter on the floor. And then just so quickly, your season's over. I mean, it was a span of like real time, like 45 seconds maybe. And, you know, it's just like in a blink of an eye. That's why sports are amazing. One of the reasons why sports give me headaches, yesterday, the Lakers did like their postseason press availability. Now, yesterday on this show, we talked about providing grace to J.J. Redick, which I still believe we should do. It's his first year coaching in the NBA. And really, there's no worse place to start off your coaching career than, I guess it's a gift and a curse, right? Because you've got like all these assets and all these tools, but now you're in LA and you're coaching LeBron and you're coaching Luka. You're not coaching the Memphis Grizzlies for your first year as an NBA coach. And everybody's like, oh, look at JJ. He's doing a hell of a job. No, it's like you're coaching the Lakers. You're expected to win championships. Every major superstar that has worn the purple and gold of the Lakers has won a championship. That's a fact. You can look it up. I mean, from Kareem to Elgin Baylor to Jerry West to, Luka Doncic now. You know, it's happened for Jerry West. It didn't happen against the Celtics, which people talk about. But, it happens. Well, everybody finds a way to win a championship. So Luka eventually you think will get there, but, he's going to have to get there right now, it looks like, with J.J. Redick. And J.J. is, like, wired so tight. And they talked about, Brian Windhorst talked about it a ton, just like you could tell, like, his energy was really tight. Reggie Miller mentioned it before the game. We saw J.J. Flip out on a reporter who asked about the rotation and whether J.J. was leaning on his assistants. So he's just like, it's probably not like the smooth, like Phil Jackson type Zen approach that superstars are looking for in a game like that. LeBron even said, JJ, the quote is great. JJ will spaz out. Like, it's cool. You can spaz once in a while, but you can't spaz all the time. And like, that's the vibe I got from JJ Redick, just being like very coaching the Lakers. And look, this is on the job stuff. We're watching JJ Redick maybe become an amazing coach. Maybe we'll become one of those guys who coaches for a year or two and says, this isn't for me. And we see that too. We saw it with Magic Johnson. Not quite the same, but you do see former players take over and they're like, no, JJ could very easily go back to TV. But, everything about the guy is in it. And this is like, we're talking about sports headaches and stuff that drives you crazy in the world of sports. So this is driving me crazy today. Yesterday after the game, Redick's talking to the media, and he talks about, we've got to be in championship shape. And being in championship shape, because he played those guys, he totally mismanaged their rotation. You can't play, you played 40-year-old LeBron James, like you played him the entire second half in that one game. You were so pissed about people questioning you about it. In game 6, everyone is speculating that you passed on playing Jackson Hayes, which there's a ton of stuff about these teams and that goes on behind the scenes that we don't know. Maybe Jackson Hayes did something that really pissed JJ off, and rightfully he's being held out of the rotation. But all I saw watching 2 nights ago was Max Kleber come into a game where he hadn't even practiced with the Lakers, right? He was part of that trade that got the Lakers Luka. And, coming over from the Mavs here in DFW and in Texas, I was like, whoa, Max Kleber's in the game? And he was playing huge minutes, right? So all this kind of goes back to the rotation, maybe guys not being in championship shape. I can promise you LeBron is in as good a shape as he'll be at 40 years old, right? So, like, you could throw him out of that. So you can only look to Luka, right, who, as we all, I think, can agree on, was a bit of like a traffic cone defensively. And has always been, but was even more so this series. And look, we know the deal with Luka, right? He comes to camp out of shape. He gets into shape over the first 6 weeks of the season. Usually by January, he's boom, 100%, doing his thing. And we saw last year, he still is a liability on defense. That is what it is. Could he be in better shape? Sure. But he was certainly in good enough shape last year to do his part to get the Mavs to the finals and have them on a brink of a championship. By the way, running into a Celtics team that everybody, hands down now, has winning the title again. 6-1 favorites in the Eastern Conference semifinals against a game New York Knicks team. This Celtics team is great. So That's what Luka ran into last year. This year, he had that calf injury, if you remember, before the trade in December, where not only was it like you're out for a month, it was like we're going to reevaluate you for a month. This isn't like Joel Embiid load management stuff type with Luka. When he misses games, he's missed, I think, over the course of his game, over his career, I looked it up, 87 regular season games out of, I think, a possible 462. I mean, if you do the math, that's like he's played 85 to 87% of his games, which is pretty damn good for a star in today's day and age in basketball. And most of the time when Luka doesn't play, it's because of an injury. It's not because he thinks he needs a break, right? So this is a guy who is all in on the basketball side, and he's not like Anthony Davis, right? Street clothes. He's not like Joel Embiid, like load management, I need time off. And he's not in the phase of his career where he's like LeBron, where he just needs a blow because he's old, right? He's not any of those things. He's a guy that's young, that likes to drink beer and likes to smoke whatever the hell he likes to smoke. And he's one of the best goddamn basketball players on the planet. So my frustration now, and again, I'm not a coach, I'm not a GM. I know enough to know that I don't know, okay? But what I do know as somebody sitting down, watching all of this unfold in front of me, and maybe I need to stop reading and stop listening to pundits, but again, that would mean I'm not doing my job. But there's frustration around oh yeah, over there, it's Luka. He's not in shape. Oh, we're going to trade Luka. We're not going to give him the Supermax because, look, we don't want to make this commitment because he's not in shape, or we don't want to make the investment. The guy is elite, and he's one of the best players we've ever seen, okay? He averaged 30 points a game in this playoff series. 30 points, right? And he was sick, apparently, during one of the games. And and he doesn't say this. We hear this. It's not him making excuses. Apparently his back flared up in the loss. And maybe that has to do with not being in perfect shape. I get it, right? He is not the ideal fitness guru that you love to have on your team, right? He's not watching what he eats. He's a young dude. He drinks his beer, right? He smokes whatever he smokes, like I said. This has been going on since the beginning of time with superstars. I don't know why we are so inclined to point at this guy all the time and say, oh, him over there. He's not in shape. That's the problem. Forget about the fact that the Lakers have no big men and their coach was in way over his head during this series, okay? And forget about the fact that before the Lakers traded for Luka Doncic, they were an afterthought in the Western Conference. Good luck in the play-in game, right? Good luck getting to the play-in game. So I'm just all stocked up with the nonsense that the problem here is that this guy isn't in shape. Like, ain't happening. Now, will he always be a liability on defense? Yes. Okay? And by the way, I make the Luther Vandross combination, and forgive me for this because I am an idiot. But let me just tell you this. When Luther Vandross got in great shape, he wasn't Luther Vandross anymore, okay? Just remember that. There's probably something to Luka's body being the way it is, right, to some of the success he has on the basketball court. Like his ability to get off shots in traffic, using his body to make passes, to hold defenders at bay. That's all a part of it, right? And this is a positive sweeping generalization, but that's part of the European style of play as well. So everybody involved, right, especially fans of the Lakers. I know it's not a problem with fans of Luka Doncic, but like, let's just get over this. The guy is amazing. He's amazing. And like JJ Redick, again, it's really not, I don't want to be like, oh, let's point blame here. Like everybody's got a little blame to go around. Look, there's a lot of people that are going after JJ Redick more so than Luka. And I'm not saying everybody shares the opinion that I'm talking about, but I hear about it all the time. And, you know, the smear campaign that the Mavs put together after they traded Luka was what it was. And overall, it made them look foolish. I'm not going to be a part of the folks covering this and watching this that have some kind of platform to get in on that act. I think it's lazy. I think it's wrong. And I think it's ignorant. Like, we're in a day and age where if you have a superstar, pay the goddamn guy. Pay him, keep him a part of your organization, right? And you've got to trust. Yeah, you got to light a fire under his ass. You got to give him some crap. And like you've got people in your organization who are going to needle him and try to make him do better. But the public, just how we go public talking about this guy, and I see it on First Take, and I see it on Inside the NBA, and I of course we saw it coming out of the Mavs front office like ad nauseum in the wake of the trade, and we always hear it get very loud after a loss, and I get that, right? But like, let's not overlook that the guy has played 85% of his games since entering the league, so he's about ball. Okay, he actually does really get injured, like we saw this year. Again, that injury, we can't evaluate him in a month. And he was back as soon as he could have possibly been back, especially now with the chip on his shoulder. But he actually wasn't the same guy fitness-wise in this year's postseason that he was last year because of all the time he missed because of that injury, right? So a little bit of grace, maybe a little bit of grace. And here's what I'd like to do, okay? Because it's not like he's a prick either, right? Let's appreciate Luka Doncic for who he is, an amazing basketball talent who I can't wait. And I'm not saying like there aren't other people who are on the same side of the street that I'm on, but I really because of more of this stuff, I just can't wait till the guy is on the podium after winning a championship and telling everybody to kiss his ass. I don't care where he's playing. He could be playing in Memphis or Philly or with the Lakers now. But that's one thing that I wanted to share today because there's just a frustration about. I feel like it's become just a lazy take. Scotty, anything from you? I'm out of gas here. I need a breather.
Yes and amen, Reverend Sousa.
But do you really agree?
Every word.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 1,000%. Every word. Yeah. Yeah, I've got nothing to add except that I agree with everything you just said.
And I do go back. One more thing I'll say, and I think it's a problem with modern basketball. We have too many people justifying jobs in NBA front offices, even in college basketball, whatever. There's too many people up your ass about nutrition, fitness, how you're taking care of your body. That stuff is very important. And the best players in the world take care of their bodies. I'm going to say this. Luka is on his own journey. like he really is. And he's still a young guy. How old is he? Let's get the official age.
26, isn't he?
26. So he needs to.
I'm going to double check, but I think so.
He needs to get it together soon, right? If he's
he's 26.
If he's going to be an elite physical fitness guy, I understand that.
But here's what's so crazy, Pete, is the part of the issue with the Mavs is he had his own team helping him stay in shape, and the Mavs were pissed about it.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
They fired all the people that he was actually listening to and reporting to and working out with.
Yeah. They fired Casey.
Which, by the way, LeBron James and Tom Brady, that's how they're in such great shape into their 40s, is they have their own people.
Yeah, well, the Mavs saw those people as enablers. But,
again, enabling a guy to take you to the finals. I guess that's a problem.
Yeah, I do think that there's too many guys, too many cooks in the kitchen that can be like, I checked his calorie count from yesterday and it was over. He didn't show up to weigh in. He left this workout early. It's like, can we just get back to playing basketball? I get it. We're in this new age and we're well into it. We might even be swinging the other way with the pendulum, but the analytics and I get it. I mean, we look close to home. Baylor's actually using a money ball approach to build their team now, which is pretty cool. The basketball team. I mean, you could say that.
Can I bring up a hypocrisy?
Yeah.
With this whole situation, you know who else notoriously has said in interviews even this year, I never was in shape? Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Difference is Shaq was 7'1", 7'2", so still a defensive presence because he could just clog the lane. Luka's obviously not that, but there have been other superstars that play out of shape legitimately, that show up. However, Bear the Truth is still pinging me about Michael Jordan, even though we're talking about Luka now.
No,
and Michael Jordan was smoking cigars and
dude, Craig Hodges told a story on the All the Smoke podcast, okay? And he said there was a game, and I forget the opponent, but MJ was always bringing it, whatever, and he was MJ. But they finished shoot around, and it's early afternoon, and MJ's in his sweats and stuff, and so obviously it's when Craig Hodges was on the team, so it's earlier in the 90s, and my MJ's like, drop me off here at a bar. This is Craig Hodges told this story. So if he's lying, Craig Hodges is lying, but it seemed believable, and nobody has rebuffed since or pushed back on his story. He said that MJ got out, said, I want to go to this bar and drink some beers, drank a bunch of beers. They picked him up on the way to the game, and it was a really bad team. I think that's why MJ was making a point. Like, hey, man, he's like, I'm seeing 3 baskets, but I'm shooting at the one in the middle. And apparently they were up 30 in the first half, and MJ sat the rest of the game. But his message was like, you can't beat these guys without me. You suck. Now, that's like a little window, into MJ. And then, by the way, MJ was born in 1963, okay? The Bulls won their first title in 1990. He was 27, right? Like, so – and only did he get better from there as far as refining his body and finding that sweet spot that would work for him. The thing about Luka is, like, we have 6 years of a body of work of this guy producing massive numbers and winning a ton of games.
In the postseason specifically.
Yeah, so it's like – it's not like we're banking on an unknown. Like, what people are banking on, the Mavericks specifically, and I hate to get all down this again, but they're banking on an unknown. They're banking on Luka to totally flame out. They're shorting the stock, which is their business, but allow me to push back and say I'm banking on what I'm seeing right now is this dude's amazing. And he sucks at defense, but figure it out, dude. Yeah. If you're J.J. Redick, if you're an organization, get somebody behind his ass. Figure out how you should have gotten Mark Williams last year. Yep. Get a big this year that can cover for him and block shots when guys beat him to the basket. Like, or do what you guys do as basketball savants and figure all that out. That's not my job. But I'm sick of hearing bitching from front offices and coaching staffs about Luka being in shape and all that stuff. Like, you guys are justifying your jobs. And no, really, general managers, we see it all the time. These guys make trades that will keep them employed, just like we saw Nico do with the Dumont ownership group that Randy Galloway was on here yesterday calling them boneheads.
Yep.
So that's a legend. Forget me for a second. Let's get somebody with some real gravitas like Randy Galloway saying the same exact thing about the ownership group. And, so these GMs, a lot of times they don't know what they're doing either. I sound like Mel Kiper, so I'm going to stop.
Well, I want to push back against the new commenter real quick, and then Nick will be ready to go, so we'll take a break. But want to welcome, I don't think Tice Summerall's ever commented with us. Thanks. Welcome to the Pete Sousa family. Tice, he said bootleg James Harden. And I just want to point out a really pivotal difference.
Tice!
Welcome. Tice, welcome. I'm going to push back against you a little bit. 1, Luka is the second best scorer in the playoffs in NBA history behind only Michael Jordan. James Harden is not that. 2, Luka consistently elevates in the playoffs, and James Harden has a 10-year body of work that says he shrinks in the playoffs. So I understand the comparison as, well, a really talented offensive player who doesn't play defense. The difference is Luka elevates in the playoffs and consistently wins games in the clutch. James Harden does not.
To your point, my friend. To your point, my friend. The Clippers win last night, which we don't have time to get to it now before Nick. Their win last night was James Harden's first win in an elimination game in 5 years. In 5 years in the playoffs since 2020. So
what a stat.
You have that right there. All right, the Pete Sousa Show will be back, presented by Slovakics. We're going to Churchill Downs after this, and you don't have to pack your bags. Sit right there. Nick Pict is going to join us live from Churchill Downs. We're talking Kentucky Derby, Major League Baseball, and whatever the hell else Nick wants to talk about after this, presented by Slovakics.
Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top-quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. At Toussaint's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Toussaint's.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com. BizChair.com. Your one-stop shop for premium commercial furniture that blends quality with affordability. From ergonomic office chairs to durable restaurant seating, we cater to diverse industries including corporate, medical, hospitality, and education. With over 20 years of experience, we offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high-traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at BizChair.com to transform your business. At Mitzi, we believe the right light can transform any space. Born from a third-generation lighting family, we craft beautifully designed, premium lighting that's made to be affordable. Inspired by Grandma Mitzi's eclectic style, we're on a mission to make high-quality lighting accessible to all. Whether you're updating your space or adding a unique fixture, Mitzi has the perfect design for you. Beautiful, well-made lighting without the high price tag. Discover your perfect light at Mitzi.com. That's MITZI.com. Mitzi. Founded in 1910, Samsonite is the world leader in durable, high-quality luggage and travel accessories. Made to the highest standards, our products won't let you down. We give you the confidence to get out there and explore. Inspired by the past, devoted to the present, and built to inspire a multi-generational future, Samsonite is here to elevate your journey. Travel with Samsonite and pack confidence every step of the way. Shop now at shop.samsonite.com. The grinder mentality that Randy and Brent Habert built into 44 Pro runs deep within our team. Every member shares a passion for the craft, the game, and most importantly, the player. When you step onto the field with a 44 Pro custom glove, you'll feel the difference. It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro. Welcome to Kit Bag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, we've got your team's colors running through our veins. From official replica kits to custom player prints of your favorite stars like Ronaldo, Messi, and Kane, Kit Bag is your one-stop shop for all things football. Powered by Fanatics, we deliver to over 180 countries, ensuring you get the gear you need fast. For true football passion, think Kit Bag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's KITBAG.com. Kit Bag.
You gotta be kidding me, dude.
What do you hear? What do you say?
So you're my award-winning journalist. This is what that looks like.
Don't journalists have to be chameleons? You gotta blend in, brother. Come on now.
So what are you, undercover?
Yeah. Undercover degenerato.
Hey, show me where you are.
All right, hold on. Let me turn my camera around. So I am in the infield boxes. So I'm in what they call the turf suites. So that's the infield of Churchill Downs, and the track is there. I am currently with the breast cancer survivors in their area, their designated area.
Oh, cool.
Because that's what
cool. So you're actually
that's who I'm working with
today.
Yeah, dude, this is the best thing I do all year for sure. So our job is, just to take care of the survivors today and make sure they have what they need. They got the food and drink and the bet windows and whatever else they need.
Are people surprised because you look like a villain that you're there to actually help?
No, I've been told I look very handsome today, actually, as a matter of fact.
Well, you do look really handsome, but
Thank you, Peter.
you look like Benny Blanco from the Bronx, from Carlito's Way.
Not Benny Blanco, Selena Gomez's husband or whatever.
No, you're John Leguizamo, Benny Blanco.
That's it. John Leguizamo is a classic.
Yeah, that's
our boy.
You're on the come up, dude. Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Okay, so Nick, I do want to ask you a little bit about where, like, the Derby, the 151st running. Do you have any insight
on
who people should bet on. Bob Baffert is back, by the way, after a 3-year ban.
Bob is back. Indeed, he is. Yes. Hold on. Let me pull it up because the Oaks program today has the Derby race and the pole positions in it. So I just got to find it.
So today is the Oaks, by the way.
Yes, which is, for people who don't know, it's the filly horses. And so the Oaks will run today, the best 3-year-old fillies. Tomorrow will be the best 3-year-old colts. And that'll be that. Yes.
Okay.
But there's a lot of chatter at the track today. Just like this is like a part of Churchill Downs I love, because like no matter what you're here for, I was here Wednesday, and people were like, "What do you think for Derby? What do you think for Derby? What do you who you thinking? What do you want? Nah. So it's just like this is the chatter of the track all week. There is a lot of love on journalism. Obviously, journalism is the favorite, the 8-horse. I don't know what the odds are right now, but in the book he's 3-1. A lot of chatter about like how journalism has worked this week. He's gotten adjusted to the Churchill Downs track. Great. Coming in from Santa Anita. So like really just like doing good. So to have the favorite doing good is a good thing. There's some chatter about Luxor Cafe coming over from Japan, the number 7, who is morning line 15-1. A lot about like how he looks great. Same thing. Working well, looking good, et cetera, et cetera. You talked about Bob Baffert, the number 4 horse, Rodriguez.
1 second before you get to Baffert. I want to talk about the Japanese Derby contenders. They've really been kind of on a run the past few years. What is the talk around the track this week around that, right? Like, is this does this horse have a leg up because it's coming from Japan?
No, it doesn't. A lot of people don't like betting the Japanese horses, to be honest with you. But this horse has done – when a horse comes to Churchill Downs and works out good and the times are good and they do their 5 furlongs in XXX time, like there is enough chatter from Wednesday to Derby Day where they're like, okay, this is somebody we need to watch out for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't, but that's why you're at the track.
But that's like one of these things. And then, there are, but the thing about the Derby is, I'll say this, and we should get to Baffert because Baffert's horse was getting a lot of love naturally. I mean, so many people just will close their eyes and throw a dart at Baffert's horse, right? So Bob Baffert has 2 horses in this year's Kentucky Derby. Number 1, Citizen Bull, and number 4, Rodriguez. However, Rodriguez is scratched. So he scratched yesterday, which means for people who don't know, that means he's now out of the race. Yeah. And the 21 horse.
We're not complete morons. We get
some people don't know, Peter, unlike you. You know a lot about a lot. But the 21 horse is now in. So the first alternate is now into the field, Baeza, being ridden by Flavien Prat. And I think Baeza has a lot of juice. Baeza should have been in the first place. Yeah. But now he's in, and it's kind of people are feeling like it's written wrong, if you will. I'm definitely going to be sprinkling a bit on Baeza, the 21.
What are I'm putting you on the spot. What are the odds right now?
The book right here, the one I'm looking at, says morning line is 12-1 at Baeza. But I don't, because it's pari-mutuel betting, all the stuff changes by the minute.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, all right. So, go back to Baffert. What is there like a type of talk or vibe or energy around him being back around Churchill Downs after the ban?
Dude, come on. For sure there is. I mean, there is just a different level of buzz when he's around, man. I mean, he's trained the last 2 Triple Crown winners. He'd been suspended because he had won the Derby and they found out he was drugging horses. I mean, it just the storylines just write themselves. It's crazy. But Bob is, from what I understand, he's in good spirits, doing well, trying to just get back in the swing from what I kind of understand here at the track.
Any long shot that you like that we haven't talked about yet? Any other insight you can share that you've picked up being around the track this week and being there at Churchill Downs?
A lot of people seem to like the 10 Grande, who is 20-1 right now. That is Mike Rapoli, your boy, Middle Village, Mike Rapoli.
There you go, St. John's.
He's a Mike Rapoli, Todd Pletcher, John Velasquez. So that's kind of like the triumvirate of jockey, trainer, owner. And he's looking pretty.
You got to talk to Rapoli. Isn't he a Queens guy?
Dude, he grew up in my neighborhood.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, Mike Rapoli is big time behind St. John's basketball and helping them.
Oh, yeah.
And Rick Pitino, but he sold Vitamin Water and another company. I mean, the guy's billions.
Body Armor.
Body Armor, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
But he's he's a big source of income for St. John's and what they're doing. He's one of Pitino's boys, St. John's guy. So he grew up in your neighborhood?
Uh-huh. He grew up in Middle Village, Queens.
You gotta find. I mean, look at you. You're Nick picked.
Yeah, that doesn't get me as far as it used to.
What about the guy with the real bad fake tan? Who's he?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
So there's a guy who owns horses because this Netflix show.
Oh, dude, everyone's been on this damn show, and I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, so
I've been so busy.
There's a Netflix show about guys who own Derby horses, and this guy's just right out of Central Casting. He's obviously very wealthy. He's a little older now, and he's got like an orange glow to him. So you won't be able to miss him when he's there, Nick.
Okay, very good. One more horse I want to point out is I would say Bob Bafford's second horse, Citizen Bull, the number one. But there is it's a nightmarish draw for Citizen Bull. Citizen Bull is also 20-1. But drawing the rail in the Kentucky Derby is extremely, extremely hard to navigate because you're on the far inside, which means that you either have to get out in front of every other horse, and that means you expend too much energy, you kind of flame out. There's usually not much left in the tank if you're gonna have to bust out in front of a field of the best 19 other horses, right? Either that or you get boxed in and there's nowhere for you to go. You don't have an avenue to wiggle your way out. And in the horse racing world, find a path or find a lane. There's no path to find. You just get smushed up against the rail. So drawing the one, it really sucks to draw the rail.
So how tall are you, by the way?
5'5" on a good day.
So we'll say 5'6". How much you weigh?
145.
I mean, you should be auditioning for a job.
See,
I mean, you've got all this knowledge. You are a jockey.
This is where you're wrong, my friend. I'm about 25 pounds too heavy to be a jock.
Really?
Yeah, they got to be, I think, between 118 and 128, I think is the weight class. Bro, I drink too much brown water to fit the weight class.
Hey, is Shelly there with you?
She's not. No, she's home working.
Where's Olivia? Is she there?
She's actually working. She's over on the far end. But yeah.
So today is a very special day, and what you're doing for the breast cancer survivors is amazing. Yeah. What is the specific group of breast cancer survivors you're there working with?
So the way that it works is that women get either they put their names in or other people put their names in, or sometimes like Churchill Downs can do some appointing, and more or less it's just like they get chosen to walk in what's called the Survivors Parade. So it's 3 o'clock-ish or so, middle of the day on Oaks Day. All of the women and one of their guests, so sisters, moms, husbands, daughters, what have you, they will walk on the turf, on the grass of Churchill Downs, and they'll get a standing ovation from the people in attendance and get recognized for beating cancer. Awesome. Mostly it's breast and ovarian is what. Yeah, dude, it's and they all have such amazing stories, such powerful women. Like, it is the coolest thing I do all year long. And so my job is just, like I said, to make sure that they have what they need today, that they're in good spirits and doing well.
And in all fairness, you're working for a hospital there, correct?
Yeah, I work for the healthcare system here. So, our cancer institute is the one that treats many of these women and does a lot of their care. And sometimes they can actually be submitted to walk in this by some of the oncologists and some of the clinical staff. So it's really cool.
It's very, very cool. And I thank you for sharing that with us. 2 more questions for you. What is like the party atmosphere like around there? I mean, it's almost noon, right? I mean, I imagine people are getting into the, a little bit of that sauce. What's it like?
So we've got, honestly, by me, it's calm, bro, because this is just like, it's not a rip-roaring time over here. On the other side, more on the front side and kind of in the grandstands, we just finished the second race. When is the third race here? Post time is in 20 minutes here now.
Yeah.
So we're getting into the third race. Post time is 11:58 my time. So, as the day winds on, the Oaks race is 550. So everything is what I would characterize it as is a very slow build, especially for Derby too. A lot of people are drinking and eating and hanging out, but like, it's all like you can feel that anxiety and that tension start to like slow build, and then boom. And then it's almost as if it's like the air has been let out of the building after the big races of the day. Everyone kind of either enjoys their win, kind of shrugs off the loss, and then it's just like, boom, we're out of here. So after race, I think the Oaks race today is race 9. So after race 9, or whenever the Oaks race is, people are out of here, dog. Like, it's like a sprint to the coach buses and get to the car in the parking lot. And then tonight is like what they call the galas. So there are several different parties that people will attend, and some of the celebrities will go to. Like, you've seen Aaron Rodgers at the galas every year. Yeah. And so that's what they, the party kind of continues to the galas, and then boom, we're at Churchill Downs and we're at Derby Day.
All right, Benny Blanco, who is going to win the Kentucky Derby?
All right, I've got a couple of horses I think I really like. I've heard a lot of handicappers say this over the past several days. You're not going to let journalism beat you, right? So if you're going to do your exactas, you're going to do your trifectas, you're going to do your superfectas, you got to include the 8-horse journalism, because if you do it right, but he beats you, then you get screwed. But I like Luxor Cafe a lot. The Japanese horse, the 7. I like Burnham Square, the 9. I've seen some people doing a trifecta box of 7, 8, 9. I've seen some of that around here. I did really like Rodriguez, the 4, but he's out. But he's out now. And I will definitely be backing Baeza, the 21, in some form or fashion. I think if you can go in with 3 Final Gambit, 3, 7, 8, 9, 17, and 21. And the 17 is one we haven't talked about. That's Sandman. That's getting a lot of buzz about a late closer. Now, it's hard in the Kentucky Derby. The late closers they rarely make it. They rarely get there. You want to be in the pace horses that are near or at the front, because the pace is quick. And getting there is hard to do with the best 19 other thoroughbreds. But I think 3, 7, 8, 9, 17, 21 are a good group of 6, right? That's 6 that can get there.
Oh, dude, you brought it today, Nick. I appreciate it, man. Nick picked live from Churchill Downs.
I want to say, are you letting me go? Is that all the time we've allotted in the rundown today?
You have anything else? Yeah, we got to wrap this up. Anything else?
All right, 2 things. I mean, if we're gonna go for an Oaks winner, right? We're gonna go for an Oaks winner. Very big on number 7, La Cara. Okay. LA space CARA, La Cara. And it's chalky as all hell, but number 11, Good Cheer, is a beast, bro. A beast.
So La Cara today.
La Cara or Good Cheer.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of 7-Eleven exactas. A lot of 7-Eleven exacta boxes.
All right. Now, you're normally here in a baseball capacity. What's the biggest story right now in Major League Baseball?
Aaron Judge is the best player who's ever lived. I don't want to hear anything else from your co-hosts or anybody else over there. Are you kidding me? The guy's hitting 415. If this were Shohei Ohtani, we'd never hear the end of it. And Judge, it's like peeps. It's like we got nothing. The guy is the best hitter we've ever seen. He's on base percentage like 501. It's crazy. It's crazy. Aaron Judge is the best player. Oh, the second biggest storyline is the NL West is a slugfest, and that's going to be awesome come down the end of the year.
Who you got winning it?
The NL West?
Yeah.
Oh, the Dodgers, but
yeah.
San Diego's frisky.
Anything for our Texas Rangers faithful right now?
They're struggling, and Corey Seager is hurt. What do you know? So here we are again. Corey Seager's hurt. Classic. But no, I mean, they'll be all right. They'll be there when it matters.
What's your number 1 drink of choice over there?
I'm a bourbon drinker, so I mean, for me, it'd be a bourbon and 1 Big Rock.
You're getting head nods from folks around the studio. Scotty agrees.
Yeah.
All right, Nick.
Weller Red, Weller Antique, Weller 107. That's the drink of choice for me.
Look at this guy. I mean, I love you. Scotty,
Should
what do you got? You got something for Nick?
Yeah.
Nick, just really quickly, because I won't argue with you about baseball today. I'll go have a Weller tonight.
Hell yeah!
Think of you. We'll celebrate this together, man.
I'll be drinking it like this. The Jalen Brunson.
Like Jalen Brunson. Yeah. Oh, now you're on the Knicks bandwagon.
We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. I will say, the Knicks won that game. I immediately opened my FanDuel app and smashed Celtics -2.5 games. That Knicks team is toast. That Knicks team is toast.
I think so too.
That team sucks ass.
I do think the same thing. Like, it was an amazing clutch moment for Brunson, and I
Dude,
love it.
The fact that the Pistons were even like hanging around is a disgrace for the Knicks. They need to find a way to get Karl Anthony Towns to Siberia. Tom Thibodeau needs to go. This team is sorry.
All right, we'll just we'll save off that talk for at least another week or so.
All right.
Let's
But
enjoy it while
for
we
now,
can.
we'll enjoy it while we can.
All right, Nick Pick live from Churchill Downs. All right, buddy, we'll talk to you soon.
All right,
have a great time. Oh, happy Derby Day. I mean, I imagine he was saying. That was really awesome. All right, we'll be right back. The Pete Sousa Show presented by Slovacics. Thanks to Nick. Short break, and we'll wrap it up for you.
Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. At Toussaint's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Toussaint's.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com. BizChair.com. Your one-stop shop for premium commercial furniture that blends quality with affordability. From ergonomic office chairs to durable restaurant seating, we cater to diverse industries including corporate, medical, hospitality, and education. With over 20 years of experience, we offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high-traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at BizChair.com to transform your business. At Mitzi, we believe the right light can transform any space. Born from a third-generation lighting family, we craft beautifully designed, premium lighting that's made to be affordable. Inspired by Grandma Mitzi's eclectic style, we're on a mission to make high-quality lighting accessible to all. Whether you're updating your space or adding a unique fixture, Mitzi has the perfect design for you. Beautiful, well-made lighting without the high price tag. Discover your perfect light at Mitzi.com. That's MITZI.com. Mitzi. Founded in 1910, Samsonite is the world leader in durable, high-quality luggage and travel accessories. Made to the highest standards, our products won't let you down. We give you the confidence to get out there and explore. Inspired by the past, devoted to the present, and built to inspire a multi-generational future, Samsonite is here to elevate your journey. Travel with Samsonite and pack confidence every step of the way. Shop now at shop.samsonite.com. The grinder mentality that Randy and Brent Habert built into 44 Pro runs deep within our team. Every member shares a passion for the craft, the game, and most importantly, the player. When you step onto the field with a 44 Pro custom glove, you'll feel the difference. It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro. Welcome to Kitbag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, we've got your team's colors running through our veins. From official replica kits to custom player prints of your favorite stars like Ronaldo, Messi, and Kane, Kitbag is your one-stop shop for all things football. Powered by Fanatics, we deliver to over 180 countries, ensuring you get the gear you need fast. For true football passion, think Kitbag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's kitbag.com. Kitbag.
It is Friday here on the Pete Sousa Show, which means it is payday, which is brought to you by First National Bank of Central Texas. Who's getting paid today? I'll tell you who's getting paid. And it's definitely not a popular opinion among the front office members of the Dallas Mavericks, because that's why they traded the dude. But Luka Doncic this offseason will get paid by the Lakers, and he should get paid by the Lakers. He could sign a $228 million extension. Now, when the Lakers traded him, or excuse me, the Mavericks traded him, everyone in the NBA, the Mavericks especially, right, because they were on track to do this, you don't have to pay him the Supermax because he's not one of your own players anymore. So he goes to the Lakers. He's been with the Lakers short term, so he can't sign that Supermax contract. But what he can sign is basically a $230 million extension this offseason. Why should the Lakers do that? Well, here's why. Let me tell you why. Because Luka averaged 30 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 0.7 blocks over the course of this series. 30 points. Now, again, we have a situation, and we started off the show talking about this, where I feel like it's malpractice by the media and by folks weighing in that are constantly talking about Luka Doncic and his shape. I think it's time for the NBA, people who cover it, and certainly people who are pulling the strings, to stop talking about Luka Doncic and his shape. The fact of the matter is he missed a month this season of basketball because of a calf strain, which, by the way, it was expected to be longer, right? But he had a chip on his shoulder and wanted to get back out onto the court, obviously now, this time in a Laker uniform. This was after the trade. But the fact that he missed all that time in the middle of the season is what led to what we would say a less than admirable performance defensively for Luka in the playoffs. At the end of the day, he's really not going to get ever much better on defense. Will he get into better shape? Yeah. Next season, we'll see a different version, regardless of what he does during the offseason. I don't expect Luka Doncic to get sober and stop smoking and having fun over the course of the offseason. He's going to be who he is. And part of that magic is what makes him such a prolific basketball player. He's played in about 85% of his games over the course of his now 7-year NBA career, okay? When you put that up against all the other stars in the NBA, it's way more, okay? Joel Embiid has basically played 50% of his games. Kawhi Leonard, we never see him on the floor. James Harden, when we do, he disappears. Luka is the real deal. And my point is emphatic on this First National Bank of Central Texas payday because I'm frustrated with the constant foolishness purported by the media and members of the Mavericks front office that this guy has now become a scapegoat. If you missed yesterday's show, he's now a scapegoat for J.J. Redick and the L.A. Lakers because his defense was suspect, right? He needs to be in better shape. The fact of the matter is, Luka Doncic is one of the best players in the history of the NBA, and it's time that the Lakers, or whoever has the good fortune of having Luka Doncic play on their basketball team, figure out the rest, okay? He's one of the greatest, and I believe he's on his journey to get even better. But to continuously harp on what this guy's doing wrong and what he doesn't bring, you've got it all wrong. Build around him. LeBron James is 40 years old. He's not going to get in any better shape, okay? So clearly when J.J. Redick says we need to get into championship shape, he's talking about Luka Doncic. How about you get that championship mentality going? Stop coaching basketball games like you're wound like a tight fist all the time, Coach Redick, okay? And get with Rob Pelinka, a Rob Lowe imposter, and I'll give Jim Rome credit for that because Rome says that, but he does look a lot like Rob Lowe, and I like Rob Pelinka. And I don't have any reason to dislike J.J. Redick, but Rob Pelinka needs to build a team that can benefit Luka Doncic, i.e. get a big man back there to deny at the basket when Luka gets beat on defense like he's going to get beat for the rest of his career. Whether he comes to camp looking like Iron Man or like a modern day Luka Doncic. That's who you got. So figure it out, Mavericks. Or excuse me, I'm excited. Figure it out, Lakers. Figure it out, JJ Redick. And figure it out, everybody who covers the NBA, okay? First National Bank of Central Texas. Payday is here, and it's time to pay Luka Doncic that extension in the offseason. All right, before we wrap up today, I got one more thing to talk about. It was just released that Greg Popovich is stepping down. Let's get the official report, okay? Shams Charania, Greg Popovich steps down as Spurs head coach and will transition to full-time team president. Look, you can say whatever you want about Greg Popovich, right? Okay, I don't like what he says politically. I don't like how he treats the media. The guy is a legend, an absolute legend. We don't have the time today to give him the beautiful bouquet of flowers that he deserves. And look, I can tell you from having done PR in the NBA and working with folks, I worked with USA Basketball when Pop was an assistant. This is 2004 when he was on Larry Brown's staff and the team that won the bronze after losing to Argentina. He's a legend, and he can be a pain to work with, but he's worth every little bit of that pain-in-the-ass personality he has because he's a great man by all accounts, and the guy is a winner, and he is who he is. He has no apologies for who he is. I love Greg Popovich. Scotty, you looking to say something here to wrap it up?
Dude, I would just say if you talk about the greatest basketball coach at any level,
yeah,
to me there's three names you have to consider. You have to consider John Wooden, you have to consider Phil Jackson, and you have to consider Greg Popovich.
And Jay Wright.
And Greg Popovich.
And Jay Wright.
Okay.
Don't get me going about Jay Wright, right? Especially last night, by the way. And we'll talk about Pop more. We got three guys basically winning an NBA series. The Knicks are who they are. But they're like, basically, it's like Villanova is on the floor, beating the Detroit Pistons last night. So I didn't mean to hijack this, but I got to give my man Jay Wright some props because we love him. But yeah, Greg Popovich, it's nice to see that he's staying with the team. You know, there's a culture around the Spurs that may at some point need to change, but clearly with him as president, it's not going to change quite yet. People at least say that it maybe needs to change. It's very Spurs-ish, almost like you could say like the Raiders were when Al Davis was alive. It's a really like one-of-a-kind organization, and when you win the way that Popovich has won, just like Bill Belichick, by the way, you can kind of be curt with the media and short with them, and because you're a winner. It affords you all kinds of different opportunities that we don't afford, or grace that we don't afford other folks in sports. So long runway here for Pop to figure out as team president, but with Victor Wembanyama, it's a pretty good runway to be on with Greg Popovich in the front office. All right, that does it for the Pete Sousa Show. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, subscribing. We'll be back on Monday. We got the Big 12 softball tournament for ESPN the last couple days of next week. So we're going to do two shows here live, and I'm going to Oklahoma City, and Scotty will be we'll be taking over, and I'll be live from Oklahoma City. So it's all good in the hood, which we call Central Texas. We'll see you Monday.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level when we shut down to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me, and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is Stark.
Sports.